You're listening to Westchester Talk Radio, produced by Shark Creative and made possible by our title sponsor, Entergy Indian Point Energy Center, which comes to an end this month, but I'd be remiss if I didn't thank them for all they've done to help the community in so many ways. Also, Lapolis Electric, don't be left in the dark. Hightower Westchester, Fiduciary Wealth Advisors. Robeson, the house that Service built, and White Plains Hospital. Thank you, everybody on the front line. Well, we gather today for the Growth Accelerator Spotlight, Episode 2, with President and co-host here of the Growth Accelerator firm, Data Key Consulting, and founder of Key Advisors, a peer advisory group comprised of highly motivated, top-performing CEOs from companies with $5 million to $75 million in annual revenue. They share a common, powerful goal to selflessly help one another take their business to the next level. And Key Advisor guru Ted Miller leads the way through the Growth Accelerator process. Today, we spotlight some partners from the Taco Project. So excited about this one. The Taco Project has 4 locations in Westchester County, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Carmelo Mileo and also Nick Mesce are both here today to join us. So, fellas, talk to us a little bit. Tell us about the Taco Project and tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it all.
Sure. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Ted.
And how you guys met, by the way. We want to know how you met and how this all came about.
So actually, we met back in high school.
Yeah,
right?
It's been a while.
I think it was freshman year of high school. So we're going back, 25 years since we met and we hung out. So the Taco Project, we started this business back in 2014 with our other partner. Unfortunately, can't be here, Sebastian, today. But we started back in 2014. The Taco Project is a fun, fast casual, Mexican-inspired restaurant with, not your typical traditional, but nice little spin on it, California-inspired. I could talk about ambiance and so on and so forth, but just a real fun vibe, good energy type of place. And we really appeal to all, young, old, just a cool kind of brand that we're having fun with, definitely, for sure.
Well, it definitely seems like you guys are having fun. I actually had the pleasure of visiting one of your locations, the one in Tarrytown. I think I mentioned to you guys, did a little impromptu date with my wife on a Friday morning as we led to lunch. And I said, let's go down and check out the Taco Project. And I've been accustomed to you guys before, but this array of like cheerful turquoise green and earth colors, right? The Mexican style tiles that are all over. It's just beautiful. It just feels so comforting when you're in there. And the food is amazing. Let's talk about live, love, laugh, and eat tacos, right? That's something you guys are always, you have it all over the walls. Just let's get into the ambiance from your perspective and the food too. Let's talk about that, because clearly you guys have put a lot of importance in how the food tastes and the ingredients that goes into it, right? So let our audience know, let's bring them into the store, walk them in. Let's describe what they see, what they taste, how that experience feels.
I guess I'll start by taking this in. So, like as Nick mentioned before, we met over 20 years ago in high school, and I became a partner in the Taco Project in 2018 when the Yonkers location opened up. And that was one of the things that was appealing to me at the time, similar to what's appealing to people today. And you walk in, you have a fun atmosphere. That atmosphere really was created by Sebastian. He's kind of the guy behind the design of the locations. There's a lot of thought and effort that goes into that. And although a lot of them are somewhat similar, they tend to have their own little twist. And we try to bring the local community into it. And then obviously with the food, Nick, coming from a restaurant background, kind of spearheads that area of it. But as you mentioned before, it's fun, right? When you think about tacos, you think about a taqueria, you typically it's comfort food, right? You're going there. A lot of people will take it out. They'll do catering. They'll have a taco bar, or you'll come in and just have a quick date night, or a couple of friends just looking to get quick tacos. So we're selling, not only we're selling the ambiance and we're selling the product, but also the feeling you get. And to us, that was what I always felt about going into the store. And similarly to a lot of our clients, it makes you happy to go to the Taco Project and eat.
And, not just a date night, a date lunch too. It could be.
There you go. Exactly.
Well, guys, what about, let's switch gears for just a second. When you talk about the changes and the challenges, right, of the pandemic that everybody, quite frankly, has been impacted by, right? No doubt. You can't hide from that. How did business change for you regarding the pandemic?
I think, in the beginning, obviously, like everybody else, we didn't know what was going on. I mean, there was a moment, Nick tells me the story when he was in Tarrytown, that his car was the only car parked on the entire street. So when you're going to open up a business and you're faced with that situation, and with any pandemic, you're obviously don't know what to do at the moment. One of the things that we thought was really important was to try to stay open. And we had our challenges just like everybody else in the beginning, where, the ownership was working in the store because we weren't able to really, or some of our staff were out. But we stayed open. We suffered in the beginning, like most people, but our business was geared towards takeout to begin with. So when a lot of the restaurants closed, we were able to stay open through the pandemic, and we did a lot of takeout. We started doing our own deliveries as long as third party delivery services. So, there was definitely a low point in the beginning, but we've kind of weathered the storm and, came out, somewhat unscathed.
So I'm hearing you say that, you were open, first of all, which is an accomplishment through all of that. And the takeout part of the business was super helpful. And I'm sure Ted knows more about this, but clearly, a lot of companies have been down 30, 40% over the past year. How about you guys? How did you fare with all that?
As far as like Carmelo was saying, Andrew, in the beginning, I think early March and mid-March, early April, it was pretty scary. We didn't know if we were gonna stay afloat, we were gonna stay open, and then there was a defining moment where we just said, sink or swim. If we're turning a profit or not, we're accountable to the community. We want to be here. We have all these employees that need to, feed their families and so on and so forth. So we really got together, the three of us, and said, we're just going to stay open. We're going to power through it. Everybody was pretty scared. It was just the unknown day after day. And most employees wanted to work. There was, we had some people that, didn't feel comfortable or whatever it was. And it was just, everything was changing day by day. You could have people in, now you can't. You could wear your mask, now you wear your gloves. And but I think that we gained, a lot of market share by staying open. So, your typical go-to restaurant, which you dined at often or you took out from often, unfortunately was closed, or the decision was there to close for various reasons. So we were just open. And I think a lot of people found us and enjoyed what we were doing and appreciated what we were doing and wanted to support us because we were there. So we were able to gain all of that market as well as keep our own.
Good for you. Good for you. It still is a tough time in many ways, but I think there's a feeling now, right? Things are opening and a lot more optimism in the air. And I think you guys certainly will come out ahead of that since you had been open all this time.
I would just inject here that I just couldn't be more proud of these guys. They're both members of the Key Advisors CEO group, and the way the Taco Project effectively pivoted during this pandemic. I'm sure they'll get into it a little bit more here, but most of the corporate catering became very challenging and kind of dried up for a lot of safety reasons across the board. And they just pivoted beautifully by really amping up their to-go system here and keeping everything safe for the public, safe for their employees and the community, and did a fantastic job with that. And with less families commuting into the city, there are actually more people that wanted a little bit of celebration during very difficult times, and so their catering, kind of family level catering, it picked up quite a bit. So I just thought that was extraordinary, and I would be remiss if I didn't also add that you may have already mentioned it, but that the Taco Project is a 4-time winner of Best of Westchester, and so extremely talented group led by these two plus Sebi, who's not here today, the 3 partners.
Well, I didn't mention it, so I'm glad you did. But they guys, you do have a wonderful reputation throughout the county, and you've been recognized righteously. So while we're on that, let's talk about the store number 4, Pleasantville. When did you open Pleasantville up?
Good. Come on.
February.
February.
Yeah, mid-February.
And how did the timing with that work for you guys, given everything that's going on?
Well, definitely, it was a little bit more challenging to build out a store during COVID. We had to work through some contractors not be able to come in, obviously because of getting COVID. It was a little bit more expensive to build because the product wasn't so readily available. So it took us a little while to get it built, but obviously, like everybody says, the end product is what matters. So we opened up in February, and like most of our stores in the beginning was extremely busy, and now it's starting to kind of level out to a place where we feel very comfortable, similar to our other stores, and where we can kind of give the best customer service and product in a quick, casual way.
Great. So Yonkers, Bronxville, Tarrytown, now Pleasantville. Did we hear something else about some further expansion in the general area?
We're working on it. We are planning on moving into Fairfield County at some point.
Aha,
Yes.
like that. Are you coming to Wilton?
Unfortunately, we're not coming to Wilton.
Westport?
Not Westport. Okay. We can't give it away just yet.
Can't give it away. All right. Okay. Didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
I think the next one for me will be Pleasantville. I want to get down there and see that. But I'm definitely excited to hear that you're coming up to Fairfield too. That's cool. We'll have to flip to the Fairfield County Talk Radio when we do that.
There you go.
Good stuff. Good stuff with that. What about, just if we want to talk a little bit about how you differentiate yourselves, what are some highlights on what makes you guys, besides the food, which we've talked about, what is it that you're doing that people can realize that you are an exceptional company, and why?
I think it just goes back to, the feeling. I remember very early on when I was with Sebastian and we talked about the food and what we were looking for as far as the menu, which has really evolved over the years as well. We brought in some different dishes, but he stressed to me how important it was that the way the place looks and the energy and the whole vibe of the way the place is laid out is just as important. Things that you really never put much thought into. We have different playlists. It could be lunch, dinner, and then you have a late night playlist Friday and Saturday that even the staff is involved in creating. So it kind of creates a fun vibe where they have their playlist of music going, and we make sure that there's candlelight out on the tables and the lights are dimmed down, and it's just a really inviting. And we like when the places are typically really industrial looking. We love the brick and the wood, and when you're finding an old building in Westchester that has some iron columns going through it, and then we like to, obviously Seb comes in and he does his thing where he brings in all the bright colors and the fun colors and the paintings, and he puts his touch and his spin on it, right? So just that real inviting, right? Like you talked about, Andrew, when you came for lunch with your wife, and that's what you feel when you walk in. It's a fun place to be. You got the music going, you got some good colors, you're going to eat some good food. Maybe you'll have a margarita or two. So that's beautiful.
Yeah,
so that's kind of
lunchtime, Andrew.
That was a liquid lunch with the burrito bowl. Actually, I had
You in the
this.
store?
What's that?
You're in the
Yeah,
store
I'm in the
now.
store now. You see that?
I love you being transported like that.
You got me so excited. I'm back in the store. I do have to ask you, and Nick, we talked about it briefly that day. Tell me again what that drink was that I had. It was not alcoholic at the time. We talked about putting alcohol in it, but was it hibiscus?
Hibiscus. Yeah, it was an hibiscus agua fresca.
Ted, oh my God,
Killer.
It's delicious. It's so good. He uses like agave in there, and it's just the right drink. I asked Nick, is this something that I should be carrying at home that I love making margaritas, so I'll put a little tequila in there.
Absolutely.
But that to me is like, that's going to get me through the summer. So you're going to get me the recipe, right? You said
I give you my word.
Okay. That's
oh my gosh, there's Sidewinder fries and the toppings and the beef tacos and the desserts. Oh my God, it's awesome.
it is great. It's great. Guys, look, clearly.
I'd add, if you don't mind, I'd add
please.
just a couple things here. From my standpoint, what differentiates the Taco Project. I think they've got that beautiful blend of being able to work in the business and on the business. Really have had a number of tremendous working sessions over in our conference rooms where they're doing long-term strategic planning, thinking out, a store ahead, a couple stores ahead. How are they going to, maintain their quality and continue to advance their brand? I'm sure you could follow up on this question here, but they give back so much to the community in terms of donations and things. Their pride in their staff and the way they treat everybody, extremely low turnover rate. Somebody who studies the industry a little bit, their turnover rate, at least in some portions of that industry, are 150, 175% per year, meaning, people only last a couple of months. Just not the case with their team. And from my standpoint, I see that they care, they genuinely care. And with the tips that come in with food businesses, are equitably distributed and shared, with the kitchen staff as well as the front end, and so I just think that's tremendous. They have a very sort of a disciplined methodology on how they think about where their next store is going to be. They do not want to expand too quickly. They want to maintain that quality and just sort of keep that. Just keep the quality of everything where it needs to be and keep it fun and lively as they described. Maybe you guys could just talk a little bit about some of the donations and the community piece, because I just think that's huge.
Yeah, sure.
Well said.
I appreciate you bringing that up. And like you said, with the staff, for us, it's just important to give them support. We tend to, we have an open door policy. We have a group chat with our entire staff. As far as, they can have random questions or about health benefits or 401k type of stuff. We're there for our staff. So it's really important to make sure they're happy. And it's a team environment. They feed off each other and it just works for us. Like Ted mentioned, as far as giving back to the community, for us, it's important to give back to the community. So in most of the towns that we're in, if not all of them, we'll support, either a local team or do some sort of co-venture with another business. More recently, we did a large donation for autism. And we're also lining ourselves up, and we like to change it up a couple times a year, reach out to different associations or different organizations and kind of align ourselves with them to kind of raise awareness. We recently had a great call with a local company in Pleasantville that brings on employees on the spectrum of autism. And we're going to work with them in producing some of our shirts and some of our clothing that we sell in the store, and hopefully bring awareness to their cause. And these are things that for us as a company, we need to produce some of our merchandise, but as a taqueria, merchandise is not the focal point of the business. The fact that we're able to team up with somebody that we're able to give back and give a portion of the proceeds to them really helps a lot.
Well, clearly you guys take a lot of pride in what you do. All around, between the food, the ambiance, the community, it's just a perfect fit. And there's no surprise in my mind that you guys are having the success you're having. And speaking of success, let's talk a little bit about Ted, right? And the Growth Accelerator firm, Data Key Advisors. I mean, he's obviously, Ted is I always call him a guru, right, of growth acceleration. And he really is. And I'm excited to know that you guys have sort of been under his wing a little bit with this. Tell us a little bit about what that program's like for you and how it's helped you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Ted's been great. There's so many things we could say about it. I think for me as a partner in a company, it's important that we stay focused. And sometimes you look at your business and you say, I'm going to go out 5 years, 10 years, what's my game plan going to be? And Ted helps us stay focused and helps us understand that, it's got a one step at a time. Let's take these next 3 months. Let's achieve our goals and let's get at it. But we're going towards a larger plan. And that's extremely helpful for us when every single day we're working in the business. So that is definitely one thing. And then just being able to have a resource and a group of people that he's brought together as resources as part of the Key Advisors group. Amazing. It's, there's not one issue that we would have that we can't speak to somebody that can advise us, and then we take it from there. Ted kind of helps you point you in the right direction. And of course it's up to you to perform. Mm-hmm. So
what do you hold you accountable to?
I'm sure Sorry about that. I'm sure he does. Well, look,
yeah, they were I won't go into much of the details, but they were the featured featured company at our CEO executive group roundtable the other day. And probably 90 minutes was spent just really deep diving, analyzing, thinking through a big strategic expansion plan that they're thinking about, and getting a way in from 15 different CEOs with all that varied experience was, you guys, was it helpful?
Priceless, really, really just more than I could have imagined. I thought it was a great meeting. I thought it was great. Everybody was very, very helpful and informative, and it was a great topic, which Ted obviously was, helping us think through. And he said, guys, we're going to bring this to the group, talking about expansion and, how fast or how slow and where and when and how. And, we're sitting in the room with some real intelligent people. So it was great.
Very enjoyable.
I mean, it sounds to me like you're getting an awful lot out of it. So congrats to all of you guys for figuring that out and building on something. It is just wonderful, and it just continues to grow, and that you're open to it. So Ted, any parting words here before we sign off on the Growth Accelerator Spotlight?
Yeah, maybe one quick thing is, I have this funny new little thing on my phone here. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay. And my 16-year-old daughter, made sure I had it on here. But Nick and Carmelo would have killed me if I didn't anyway. But it's the Taco Project app. And it's absolutely outstanding. I don't know if I can show it on my screen here, but highly recommend that people download that app. Once you go there and you get the taste of the Taco Project, you're definitely going back. It's just a great experience, and I couldn't be more proud of you guys.
Thank you, Tim. Nice, appreciate that.
And it's been a pleasure having you guys here on episode 2 of the Growth Accelerator, and with my co-host Ted Miller. It's really it's a pleasure. And you guys, look, you could be found at the tacoprojectnewyork.com. Is that right? And
thetacoproject.com. We actually we've been able to acquire that. Pretty exciting. A couple of weeks back.
Okay, great.
We were chasing that down for a while, and we finally got it.
Nice. And they can follow you at the Taco Project, right?
Correct.
On social media. Okay, so for those who are listening, not too hard to find them. Just type it in, the Taco Project, and there you have it. And also the app, which is a great idea. I'll get that myself right after this to make it easy for me. But again, wanted to thank you guys for being with us, both you, Nick, Carmelo. Say hello to Sebi. Sorry he couldn't join us, but it's again a pleasure having you on. Westchester Talk Radio, produced by Shark Creative, and we'll be back for more episodes of the Growth Accelerator with Ted Miller again soon.
Live, love, and eat tacos.
Live, love,
Thanks,
and
guys.
eat tacos.
Thanks,
Sounds
guys.
great.
Take care.
Thank you.